Hey everyone, it's Reimers back for month 31, and I actually have some interesting things to talk about. I know it's been a little bit depressing, the last couple months here. I mean, this was like month 25 was a nothing month, nothing month, nothing month. This was like a little bit of a month, nothing month, nothing month. So it hasn't been good, but if the thumbnail is anything of a signal for how things have been, a lot has changed. So I I've been calling it the Great Lock-in, and I think pretty much here I'll start with how it started. So I think first of all, I had kind of generally been very frustrated with the way I was like living my life, kind of outside of studying Korean. Like I kind of this was maybe like halfway through November. My two big like hobbies outside of work at the time were studying Korean and like reading some books. I have this like whole stack of books by my bed, and I remember I went like a whole week where I talked to my therapist at the end of the week, and he's like, he like checks up on the things I wanted to work on, and I was like, holy shit, like I did zero Korean this week, and I read 0 pages of this book, and I'm like, that something is wrong, right? Like something has to change. And then I think later that week, I called one of my friends, and she was basically like, damn, like you're actually not that good at Korean. And I was like, fuck, like she's kind of right. And so I'd kind of been thinking of, changes I can make. One, first of all, to like my life in general. So like my sleep was like super fucked. So I was like, okay, I'm like not going to use my phone or my laptop in bed ever. And then I was like, okay, what am I actually spending my time doing? I don't know. It's like scrolling on Twitter or something. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get off Twitter. I'm going to get off YouTube. But I think like when you have that void, you really want to fill it with something. And so I think, what's great is that basically I decided to, kind of fill it with Korean, because I think I'm in a very stable spot with my life right now. Very stable spot with work, very stable spot with relationships. And I have 3 months left till this trip, which is just like kind of, I mean, I can go back later, right? But it's kind of a very special trip, right? I'm not going to be able to, be an exchange student like at like being so young ever again. And I'm going to be the skill level that I am when I go. And I think my skill level will pretty linearly increase. And I think I talked about this in this video. I think like in this one, the 2 years one, I was basically like, if you told me I could have like 50% better experience, and all it take was giving up YouTube and Twitter for 6 months, I would do it. And then I didn't do it. But now I'm literally doing that. Like I'm literally doing that. And so basically, I was like, man, what if I just went all in? Like what if for 3 months, it's not a very long time, right? I mean, I'm going to be gone for 4 months, and I was already planning on 4 months. I was like, man, like I really should get off Twitter so I can just like, be fully present in Korea for 4 months. 3 months, not that much longer than that. What if I really went all in? Like truly dedicated 100% of my non-allocated time to doing Korean. And I'd also kind of listened to this podcast of Matt vs. Japan talking about how he had like 15K cards at one point, and I was like, holy shit, like I don't know if I can fucking do that. And also, I haven't done like Anki for years, but I think one of the things is, and I've talked about this, I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched the videos over the years. Years is crazy to say that. Okay. I've talked about over and over and over how there's a lot of this like feeling of, oh man, if I had done 2 cards a day, if I had done 5 cards a day, like my vocabulary would be if I had done 15 minutes or 30 minutes of immersion. And I think, I feel very like calm about where I'm at, right? I spent my time the way I spent my time. I did some Korean. Sometimes I didn't do a lot of Korean, which was most of the time. But also, when I look at the last 6 months, I actually really like how I spent a lot of my time, right? I mean, like I said, not all of it, clearly. This like very frustration. But everything in life has trade-offs. And I think, again, I've been able to get to this very stable point in my life because I was spending a lot of time on things that were in Korean. And so I think that, what's in the past is in the past. And I feel very good about, hey, let's really commit myself to 3 months, not that long a time, 100% give it everything I got. And then I can go and I can say, I left nothing on the table those last 3 months. This was like the absolute, like, most progress I could have made in that time, and see what happens. Okay. So, what does this mean? Yeah, 100%. It's what has happened so far is that I've definitely done a very good job at removing other things. Like I used to watch a shit ton of English YouTube. I removed English YouTube. I used to watch a shit or be on Twitter a bunch. I've removed that most of the time. I still think I can go a lot harder. Like there are minutes in the day, and I'm serious, like 5 minutes every day for 90 days here. That's a lot of time. I think I can squeeze out even more time. Like from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep, having just, audio playing. I was even thinking about, and this is like, man, it's tough because, everything has trade-offs, but like I was thinking like at work, do I like, have my headphones in or do I like eat lunch with my coworkers? And like, I kind of like eating lunch with my coworkers, but also, I don't know, like 3 months, one-time thing, maybe it's worth it. One other thing that's been nice is it's very freeing. Guys, I don't know if you've ever, like, literally, I've never locked in this hard on something my entire life. Like, I've, like, focused on things in school and other stuff. But I've never been like, I am literally, every decision in my life is being guided by this, right? But it's very freeing, right? It's actually very freeing because all the decisions become super easy. And it's like, what am I doing when I wake up? This. What am I doing when I get home? This. Am I going to this event? No. Am I doing this? No. And obviously it's like, I'm still going to like, this week is Thanksgiving. Like I made time to hang out with my family, but it's also kind of fun, right? Like I'm serious, guys. It feels amazing to wake up with a freaking mission, right? I wake up and I'm like, I am trying to do as much Korean as I possibly can today. And that's my goal. And when I get home from work, instead of like mindlessly scrolling Twitter, I'm like, I'm getting home and I'm spending as much time on Korean as I possibly can before I go to sleep. And like that, it feels really good. I've been doing Anki again. So I can actually pull up Anki here. So I've been doing this for almost a week now. I've been doing 20 cards per day. And I'll talk a bit more about that later. It's been pretty fine so far, I think, compared to, I just haven't done Anki in a very long time. I also think Anki is the kind of thing that is very hard to do if you like aren't committed to the grind and also like don't have like a spot carved out in your day for it. And I don't really think it like kind of worked in my life before I like made a bunch of these radical changes. And I did make a bunch of radical changes to my life. But now that I'm like, on the freaking grind, yeah. And so 20 cards, maybe could have done more, maybe could have done less. I'll talk a bit more about that later. I've been doing 30 minutes of like chorusing per day. So I have like in Audacity, I have like little clips from TV shows and stuff. And then I like, play the audio, and then I have like noise canceling headphones with my mic doing the monitoring, and I'll play them back here. Let me see if I can get an example for you guys. Hold on. Any moment now. Okay, this is a good one. Okay. So here, this audio, you can hear it.
내가 밑에 부분을 했는지 안 했는지 까먹어요. 헷갈려요.
And so here is me, this is like almost 2 weeks ago now. 내가 밑에 부분 했는지 안 했는지 까먹어요. 헷갈려요. And then here is me recently. 내가 밑에 부분 했는지 안 했는지 까먹어요. 헷갈려요. So, it's not perfect, but I definitely do feel myself getting better with these, and I have a bunch of them. And I kind of do them in a SRS kind of style way. So I have like like in SRS, you have like new and then reviewing and then graduated. So I have a bunch of like to-do ones, which are I haven't worked on yet. And then I have this like working category where I kind of like revisit them every day while I'm working on them. And then I have my italki teacher, who's the GOAT. I see him twice a week. And during our lesson, I take all the ones that I like feel good on, that I put in this like pending final check bin. And then I get a final check from him that they are 100% perfect before I graduate them and move on. And then I have condensed audio, passive immersion, just kind of as much as possible in my headphones on my phone. And then basically active immersion, no sub the rest of the time. Okay. How's it been going? It's been going pretty good. Like I said, it's pretty fun. I think what does feel good is that I'm at the beginning of this lock-in, right? And so it feels like it's like very exciting, right? And you're like, oh my God, I know 3 months like isn't that long in terms of language learning, but also like, if you look at my immersion hours in the last like year, like I'm probably going to do more immersion these 3 months than I have in the last year, right? And so that's like crazy to think that like I'm going to make more progress in 3 months, or I might make more progress in 3 months than I did in the last year. And so I think that feels very exciting. Again, I'm not like expecting anything crazy, but like it does feel like there's a lot of like possibility to make progress here. And definitely as we get closer to the date, right, the maximum possible like delta decreases just because there's only so many days left. And so, by the time you're 30 days out, right, of course you can every single day you can get 1% better, you can get 1% better. But you just like know that the change isn't going to possibly be as big as it could have right now. And so right now, obviously, I'm very optimistic because it feels like I can make a lot of progress and it's very exciting. Okay, I've been watching a lot of dramas. I finished Itaewon Class. I watched this Better Late Than Never stuff. I watched this one Duna, which is pretty good. I've been rewatching some stuff. All no subs. And that's been pretty good. One of the things I noticed is that I think it's been very good that I turned off subs. I think I did this in April on like Matt vs. Japan's advice. But, and that was in this video. Which one? Yeah, this one. The 2 years one. Oh, oops, spoiler. No, I spoiled it. Okay. Okay. The thing with turning subs off is that I think my acquisition of new vocabulary absolutely fell off a cliff. Now, maybe this is because I didn't use Anki, and I would have been fine if I had used Anki and basically done what I'm doing right now, which is because basically when you see a one target sentence in Migaku with the subtitles on, like it literally like stands out. It's like glowing, right? Like the word, like I don't know if you guys know what this looks like. Let me show you.
빨간색 알파벳 때문에
And so if I go to like recommend, yeah, like
한 번도 살면서 연애
imagine you're watching the show,
또 보면
right?
한 번도 살
And you just see this, right? Your brain is like fucking holy shit. Like, dude, I need to pay attention to this word, right? And then you hover it, and then I don't know if you guys have ever made a use Migaku. This shit is insane. So you just like press you press like one button.
보면 한 번도 살면서 연애 경험이 없는 분들이 이제 나오시게 돼.
You press one button, and it automatically takes the word, fills in the target word, adds a definition, sends audio, word audio, image, example sentences, AI notes. It's insane, right? So basically, but you have to, the thing is you have to like stop and turn on, like if you have the subtitles on, it's very obvious. But if you don't have subtitles on, one, it's I feel like it's very easy just to like let the kind of move on to the next sentence, right? It's much less like obvious. Like you definitely like, I'll like hear a word I don't know in a sentence I do know, and then you can like pause. But then you have to like turn the subtitles on to like see that kind of word highlighted, then press the button, then make the card, right? And so the thing is, when I actually like, so I'm trying to decide. So like either you could just have subtitles on and mine with subtitles on, or you can have subtitles off and then like turn them on when you hear a sentence you want to mine. But either way, this is how I feel like watching these shows, like mining right now, because I literally like, and I'll like show you guys, dude, I like there's so many one target sentences. There's so many in these like, and it's like every episode, and these are like, 3-star words, 5-star words, 4-star words, and this is like a like list of how frequent they are. And so I mean, I'm doing 20 words a day. There's like 90 days left, so that's 1,800 words, which, in the grand scheme of things, is not a lot. But like, even if I got through, like, I think the frequency list is a 10,000 word frequency list. So let's say like if I get through like most of those like 5 and 4 stars, I mean, that's like, I think that will be a pretty noticeable difference. And yeah, I mean, obviously in hindsight, like probably would have been pretty cool if I did this for like the last year, but it is what it is. So yeah, mining is like literally, it's too easy. Like it literally is too easy. Okay. YouTube, I've been watching some YouTube. It's pretty fun. Found some non-K-pop content, which is great. And then also the problem with YouTube is there's these hard coded subs, which are literally heroin. Like I literally, like I cannot take my eyes off them. And so there is this, tool called, Mac OS, or it's like a blur I found, and it basically adds this like blur on top of stuff. So you can move it around, you can resize it, and so you have like your YouTube video, and then you like put these subtitles on top. Maybe I can show an example. So if I watch, oh god, oh god. Yeah, put it like this.
이거 아니고 너무 옹졸한데?
It's great, but what's crazy, guys, is like when sometimes I'll like get the sizing wrong and the subtitles kind of peek out. My eyes like fucking, dude, they like jump to the subtitles. Like I just can't resist it. So yeah, this thing's pretty nice. Would highly recommend. Okay. Next, I went on a call with Matt vs. Japan, just to kind of give his advice on what he would do if he were me, basically, for these last 3 months, just trying to optimize everything. Very nice guy, by the way. I think we had a great conversation. He talked about Anki being basically good for everyone, like until you have like the vocabulary of a native speaker, like everyone can gain something from it, which is super true. And I definitely think like even if I mean, it's hard to like mine without immersion, but I think like, anyways, you know, whatever. It's in the past. He talked about just doing, I was talking about like how many new cards, right? Because if I'm like super grinding, I could do more. But he was like, just do 20. Because one, Anki is like very, very fragile, right? If you like are doing 50 cards a day and you miss like one day, like you are fucked, right? And the other thing is that it helps you like really focus on those like top 20 words, right? And I mean, I don't really have a hard time with this because like, or I guess all the words, there's a bunch of like high frequency words. There's just like a bunch of words you run into that like aren't on that frequency list. And I like basically have been making cards for them because, yeah, I only have, like 20 cards a day times 90 days. So that's 1,800 words, right? I want the most frequent 1,800 words, right? I don't want some like random ass words. It's just not worth my time. And then we also talked a bit about like experiential stuff while I'm there. This was pretty interesting. He talked about like being strict about no foreign friends. And so what this means is that like most of the other kind of like foreign international students, like all their other friends there will be other international students, or they'll like make friends with people who like Korean people who studied abroad in America and like speak pretty good English. And he's like, you know, when you're there the first couple of weeks, if you know, you're going to like want to make friends, and it's going to be very easy. Like the path of least resistance is going to be to make friends with the other international students. And you should resist this, right? Like you should like really make a very good effort to like just don't make foreign friends. And you want to still be doing immersion 24/7, but like make that stuff like IRL stuff, right? Like make your immersion like you're hanging out with your buddies, or you're like going to something, like doing somewhere. And you know, you're going to be there, like, again, just like the kind of stuff I've been doing now, where it's like, okay, I'm not watching English YouTube anymore. I'm not going on Twitter anymore. Well, see if you can reduce your English input while you're there to as near zero as possible. And then maybe also he said maybe no Anki while you're there, just because it's like pretty hard to keep up. You need like a certain like rhythm to your life to do Anki. And if I'm like, you know, just kind of like going out basically and like exploring and traveling, it might not be a good idea. It's just too much stress. Okay. Some open questions. How hard can I go? Should I go? Like I said, like I like think I can go harder. And I definitely don't want to regret having not gone harder. There definitely is some stuff where like, you know, how much do I want to isolate myself? Because, you know, although I like, you know, I do talk with some of my like Korean friends online, but like, should I like, you know, hang down with my friends for like 2 hours, right? Or because I really need every single freaking drop, or is like 2 hours hanging out with my friends on Friday, like, okay, right? Like that sounds reasonable to me, but you know, I could go insanely hard, right? I talked about like the work lunch. But yeah, I definitely, I don't know. It would be really great to look back on 3 months and say, I left nothing on the table, right? I gave it every drop every day, every single possible minute of every day I was doing it. And I think that would be a good feeling. So, on that note, Matt has some videos about should I track hours. He said this is like good because, you know, you should always constantly be seeing if you can get more. I think for me in the past, it had been like very tedious to like start the clock and end the clock. And I'm like kind of, I don't like mean to misuse this word, but like ADHD is probably the best way to describe it, even though I'm not saying I have ADHD, but like in the way, like sometimes I'll just like, be watching one thing and then go to this other thing and then like check this other thing and come back. And it's very hard to like start and stop a timer. And if basically I can really commit myself and keep myself to the only option is Korean all the time, then it doesn't really matter. Okay. On output, output right now, I think Matt had recommended me like a 9-to-1 input to output ratio, which I think I'm probably a little bit higher on the output side. The other thing is output's just kind of fun, right? Like, going on mom is pretty fun. Output feels good, especially because people will compliment me on my accent pretty regularly, which is great. Means that the kind of phonetics training is really paying off. But there are times where like there's like a massive hole in my ability and it becomes super, super visible and it just like feels really bad. And I think when this comes up is like when someone says something and you just like didn't parse it, like it just like didn't make sense, and you have to like ask yourself, and it just is such a fucking gut punch, dude, right? When you're like, 죄송해요, 다시 한번 말해주세요, right? It's just like fucking man, just does not feel good. And then like within a conversation, like you say that once, and then like by the second time, they like kind of realize that they just like can't have a normal conversation with you, right? Like they're going to have to talk slower, or you're going to constantly be asking them to repeat themselves. And I think that just like instantly kills the vibes. It really sucks. If you like talk slow, if you respond slow, if you can't like fully express yourself, but you can just like understand everything they're saying most of the time. And so that's why like, really, really, I think in these last 3 months, I'm hoping to make a lot of progress on the listening. And yeah, I know in the past, I kind of haven't done this last 2 months, but I talked about recording like a monologue. I think I want to do I haven't recorded this yet, but the plan was to record a call with like a mom call with a friend or a stranger, just to kind of show you guys like what my current ability looks like. And so that call, I'm going to leave unedited. I'm actually hoping I make some mistakes just so you can, see kind of raw where I'm at. But yeah, so that's going to play after I finish this recording. But yeah, so that's all I got. I know this is a bit of a longer video since the last couple, but I feel good. I'm really excited, and I'm hoping, last 3 months to make as much progress as possible and really just go all in. So thank you guys so much for continuing to watch my videos. It is really, really crazy to still be doing this after all these years. So I really appreciate you watching to the end, and hopefully you will enjoy this hopefully not awkward conversation recording of me and some random person. So thanks so much again, and I will see you next month. Bye-bye. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 반갑습니다.
반갑습니다. 한국어 짱 잘하시네요.
오, 감사합니다.
뭐 해요?
지금 여기
네.
엄청
네.
늦었어서
몇 시예요?
12시?
10시? 12시? 왜 안 자요?
안 자요. 매일매일 한국 분이랑
네.
대화하고 싶어서 늦게 깨웠어요.
한국에 관심 많아요?
네, 꽤 관심 있어.
굿.
저기는 취미가 있어요?
취미요? 저 식물 키우는 거 좋아하고요.
식물?
네, 식물, 플랜트. 네.
왜 좋아해요?
귀여워요.
오.
식물이 자라는 걸 보면은 너무너무 귀여워요.
그렇군요.
네. 그쪽은 취미 있어요?
좀 한국어 공부하기?
한국어 공부하기. 한국에서 살고 싶어요?
내년에는 갈 거예요.
여행으로요?
아, 교환
아니면
학생으로.
교환학생. 몇 살이에요?
아, 20살이에요.
20살이요? 저는 26이에요.
아,
저도,
네네.
네.
먼저 말해요.
말해주세요.
뭐?
응?
아,
저는,
네.
유럽에서 모델로 활동하고 싶어요.
유럽 가본 적 있어요?
네, 있어요.
오, 어디예요?
유럽 어디 가봤냐고요?
네.
밀라노랑 파리랑 이렇게 모델 활동했었어요.
와우.
또 가서 일하고 싶어요.
와. 제가
네,
작년에
네.
이탈리 갔어요.
이태리,
이태리.
이태리 어디 갔어요?
피자?
기사?
Pisa?
음,
You know, like the Tower of Pisa?
피자?
네네.
음, 그렇군요.
그렇군요. 그 한국보다 그
네,
유럽 그 어떤 차 있어요?
어떤 차?
차이.
차이. 한국은
네.
패션 시장이 작아요. 그래서 일도 많이 없고, 돈도 그렇게 많지 않고. 근데 유럽은 세계적인 브랜드들이 많잖아요.
아, 네네.
그러니까 패션위크 시작하면 뭐 파리 패션위크, 밀라노 패션위크 하잖아요. 그거 보고 나가는 느낌이에요.
아, 그 패션 그 관심 있는 이유 뭐예요?
이유, 재밌어요.
재밌어요. 아,
Yes.
그 패션 디자인 그 하고 해요? 아니면
네,
모델만 해요?
모델만 해요.
아,
내년에 와요, 내년에?
네, 맞아요.
혼자?
뭐예요?
혼자? alone?
네, 혼자
오,
하나
오.
친구밖에 없어요.
하나 친구?
네.
음. 만날 수 있으면 만나요.
아.
우연히 마주치면.
무슨 도시에 살아요?
저는 서울에서 살고 있어요.
오, 제가
서울.
신촌에 살 거예요.
신촌.
네.
신촌. 왜요? 학교가 주변인가?
네네. 고양이 키우세요?
고양이? 네. 어떻게 알았어요?
프로필 사진에 있어서.
저 최근에 영어 공부하고 있어요.
진짜요?
네, 저도 유럽 나가긴 하지만 그래도 영어가 먼저 돼야 된다고 생각을 해가지고 영어 공부하고 있어요. 근데 완전 조금밖에 못해요.
그
네.
열심히 공부하세요.
2등도 파이팅.
네네네네. 그 대화하는 거 재밌었어요.
네. 아, 네. 고마워요. 재밌었어요.
네, 좋은 하루 되세요.
네, 잘 자요.